The government is mooting plans to scale up youth representation in crucial government posts and empower youth across the country in education as well as job opportunities. Now, this came up during the Generation Unlimited initiative that was launched virtually by President Uhuru Kenyatta today, aimed at boosting the youth bracket that's been hard hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, as many youth have been rendered jobless. Let's get more from our very own Marianne Nyambura.
3/4 of the country's population consists of the youth, a bracket that has for far too long raised concern over limited involvement spaces in pertinent matters in the country.
Our generation is 25% of the population, but 100%
of the future.
During the virtual launch of the Generation Unlimited initiative, a global program aimed at providing solutions to the young ones between the age of 10 to 24 years in the education, training and employment sector by the year 2030, the government promised to equally involve the youth through creating opportunities and subsequently involving them in key spaces.
I think if this money can be more accessible and to these fresh graduates, if we can have kitties set aside for graduates who want to do startups, then we can be able to cater for the two types of students that we see in the universities.
Let us talk about how do we get information on existing programs out of our offices and to the grassroots where they're needed. And I think that's the first challenge I put to the team. This is what I want you to work on. This is what I want you to do. Let us not talk about reinventing or creating new programs. Let us first get ongoing programs, ongoing resources to the people and bridge that gap and remove that divide or that information divide that is making our young people unable to take advantage of the programs that we have.
The government acknowledging that though there are strides made, the youth need to put in more work to align themselves with the Sustainable Development Goals.
Days, I want to appoint a few more young people to join these talented CASs who are currently working day and night to prove their worth, their capacity, and their ability to take the bull by the horns and lead by example and show that the time for Kenyan youth is indeed today.
The Generation Unlimited initiative launch also saw a number of Kenyans who have taken opportunities during this pandemic lauded for their efforts in beating all odds to emerge as young innovators.
I also wish to salute the many young Kenyan changemakers who we today are inspired by the 15 medical and engineering students of Kenyatta University who recently made history by making the country's first homegrown ventilator to help treat COVID-19 patients. I recognize the activists in Nandora fighting for disability rights, the human rights advocate in Eldoret defending the fundamental freedoms of access to universal health care, and the young innovators across the country who have heeded the call of Buy Kenya and Build Kenya and are manufacturing hospital beds and personal protective gear across the country. These and many such young people are truly the generation that is unlimited by COVID-19.
The newly launched program aimed at tackling the challenges in education and employment will bring a ray of hope to the youth bracket. Marianne Nyambura, Citizen TV.